Hello, hello,
Hi,
everybody.
y'all.
Welcome to Wellness Wednesday.
Y'all caught me putting a pillow in my back. For some reason, I'm having lower back pains, and my friend tells me that's because I'm angry with someone, a female person. I have no idea who I'm mad at, but whoever you are, quit messing with my back. No.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Hi, Crystal. How are
Hola,
you?
hola. I'm doing
Yeah.
well. How are
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. I'm
I'm
better.
trying to
My
do
knee is
well.
better.
About
My
to
knee
keep.
is better.
That's
I done
good.
fell down and broke myself, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying we came down with some kind of a little head cold, and we don't normally get sick, so I'm about ready to kick this out like today.
Yeah. So I had an exciting morning today. Crystal and I have a wonderful new service to our business, and it's exciting because a lot of people are understanding and grasping the wonderfulness
Hmm.
of this new service that we're about to provide. And um, we're excited for all of you out there, actually,
Yeah,
because this is a game changer. It's a life changer. Um, it's amazing for so many things, including pets.
that is the coolest, by the way.
That's the coolest, by the way. Now we have had CBD oil for pets, okay? So we'll let you know that. But this is something different. It's a therapy kind of sort of like thing,
Hmm.
and we're able to administer it to your pets. And I know there are a lot of people out there that love their dogs, cats,
I wish we
birds.
had this like sooner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. Everything I do with this new holistic stuff, I wish I had it way sooner. My parents would still be living. I'm
Man,
just
and there's
telling you,
so much to learn. Like there's just so
it's
many
so much to
exciting
learn.
things.
So many advances are happening, you guys, and we're in the very infancy
Yeah,
of this new thing happening, and it is amazing. And so, um, Crystal, we started the program with your testimony, but I wanted to get that out because all
yeah.
morning I've been
Hmm.
dealing with this new service, and it's just exciting.
Yeah.
And we got new people in our team that's
Hmm.
that are just as amazing as we are. I'm not even so shy to say that. And so yeah, we're pretty amazing. Okay, so Crystal, we start off the program with your testimony. So if you can do it quickly, that would be great today, so we can get into
Absolutely.
our guest because she's just as energetic as you are. So let's
Yep.
go there.
All right. Well, I'm a holistic health coach and an herb
Mhm.
specialist, and I do many other things, but we're not going to talk about all that. But the reason I
We
do
will have a show though that will totally go through all of the
it,
certifications and
sure.
what Natural Health Hub actually is, you guys.
Hmm.
We actually need to break everything down because you have no idea. The subscriptions and is $100 a month.
Mm,
That does not even touch what everything we do, you guys. There are some services that you will be paying extra for. I'm going to tell you that right now. You do that at the doctor's office. Not that we're doctors, but there are services that are going to be, afforded to you at a very decent price. So the subscription is $100 a month, but there's so much behind that $100 a month. So
mm.
I just wanted to get that out there. Go ahead, Crystal. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. And other people may know us as holistic healers. That's what
Yes.
they call like our community in a
Yeah.
way. And, the reason I got into this is because years ago when I was 18 and 24 years old, when I was 18, I was diagnosed, but I had a flare up when I was
Mhm.
24, and it had to do with ulcerative colitis. It's an inflammatory bowel disease. It's similar to Crohn's. A lot of people heard about Crohn's. They kind of know about that. It's a GI problem and a disorder. And I dealt with that, lost over 30 pounds in a month, got hospitalized, malnutrition, did not, like losing blood even, lots of things I went through. I was basically on my deathbed. And when I was 24 and I was hospitalized for several days and just about at death, basically 97 pounds at that time and hell as a ghost. They told me I had to do things like surgery, possibly getting on chemo, steroids, ulcerative colitis medications. And I'm 24 at this time, so that's not going to work. And trying to summarize this all up, I said no. I did take a couple of things, but said no to some things. It didn't work. obviously. And so I went towards a naturopathic doctor to help me, who helped me in the past. And I listened to her fully this time, learned everything I could, got certified, changed my lifestyle, diet, nutrition, all that. Helped my body, mind, and soul, like with meditation, prayer, just working on myself. And I started to heal, you guys. I started to change my mindset. I started to heal. And I knew that if I could help myself get rid of things, ailments in my body with just natural ways, I knew I could help teach the world that. And Kathey has the same mindset. She wants to spread the good health out there through, nutrition and, just giving our body food, whole food and detox. That's important too, So we're all about that. And we have much more to talk about, but that is why we do what we do, is because we care. We want people to know you don't have to be sick for the rest of your life and taking medications for the rest of your life. You just have to
or in pain. You guys, you don't have to be in pain.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The arthritic pain in people. I have a niece that's very riddled with arthritis, and I'm so excited for this new service that we're going to provide, because I'm going to be able to help her. And I'm just. And then there's another friend of mine that has weakness in her hands. She's in her 70s.
Yeah.
And so she can't cook or do certain things like that weak in her hands. And I cannot wait to go and do what I need to do with her with this new service that we're going to provide for people. And I want them to be testimonials.
Right.
I want them to start telling, because they've gone to doctors, so they have all that documentation. So,
and I just want to give a sneak little like peek kind of thing, because you said arthritis, or what did you say, arthritis, I believe, or just pain.
She has horribly bad arthritis.
Okay,
and the other lady has, I think, really bad neuropathy, but it's in her hands.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's called.
So we have something special that is actually, that's why we're saying those words. It's because it's FDA cleared to treat pain, inflammation, and arthritis.
Yeah.
And it's like a medical grade #2 device, kind of like that. So yeah, that's
like a hearing aid, you guys. It's like a hearing aid, or even a walker, or even a wheelchair. It's even categorized in those areas. So we'll be able to help people a whole lot better. And that's a good point. I'm glad that you said that, because that's important for people to know. You may be able to use this service. You may be able to report it to your insurance. And that's why this is also exciting, because at least that one service that we do for you guys, you'll be able to report it to your insurance, and then we be reimbursed. We discussed that this morning as well. Crystal and I was on a 3-hour-long conference the other day, and we have been like, just know we're going to have something special for you guys. All right, let's get to our guest. We're going to talk about some stuff today. Her name is CARLA Mason. She's our yoga guru, and she's amazing as well. So CARLA, I hope that you are ready to come on and say hi to everybody.
Hey,
tell us what you're here for.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to thank our hosts, Crystal and Kathey. They're wonderful ladies. Both of them have just a special energy. And what connects us is that we are so focused on wholeness, wellness. I mean, that's what has connected us. That's what has drawn us into this community.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I do know is you're going to be in some kind of community as a person. Everyone is going to belong to a community. So what draws us is wholeness and wellness. And that's something I think that we all can agree that there's no amount of money in the world that can buy your health.
Yeah.
If you've ever been in a position, and I know we all have, to have had to crawl or claw our way back to being healthy, or and it's a continual thing. It's not like this is going to happen overnight.
So can you tell us why you are so passionate about yours? What condition made you ready to be a wholeness person, like get your life back to where your body wasn't attacking itself. So tell us exactly what happened with your journey, your health journey.
Excellent question. I'm not going to elaborate on it, but
Okay.
I have an autoimmune disorder, which there are so many of us with autoimmune disorders.
Hmm.
Mine is called, it's a thyroid disorder. I have a
Hmm.
hyperthyroid. It manifests into what we call Graves' disease. As in a grave, you dig a grave for people. Graves' disease is basically, it's where your thyroid, it attacks your eyes. So your eyes, there's something called
Hmm.
thyroid eye disease. I know everybody's seen the commercials. And so
Yeah.
basically your eyelids retract and your eyeballs will just bulge out of your head.
Okay.
So much of it is stress related.
Mm.
I just want to say that up front. I think so many
Okay.
of us have so much stress in our lives and we don't really understand that we're having stress. We have to sit down. We have to
I
take a deep
agree with
breath.
that.
We
I
have to
agree with
think
that.
about what we are doing. We have to become intentional. And so that's how I basically became well. I started researching because I'm like, they're telling me they're going to destroy my thyroid with iodine. I'm going to be on medication the rest of my life. Lord, I went through so many different things. I mean, dropping weight, sick as a dog, hair falling out. And today I'm here to tell you it's been a decade. I am off all my medications. I do not take medication. I learned to manage my stress with yoga. And thus I decided that for me, I would help people with their physical needs. Physically, we need to be active. Physically,
Yeah.
we need to try to stay fit. We need to reduce our stress. We need to learn how to breathe effectively.
Yes.
Some people do
Agreed.
not know how to breathe. So
Correct.
that's just a little bit about me, how
Yeah.
I got here, how this connects us. Because
Yeah.
once you have found wholeness and wellness through, as Crystal said, whole food, and you just
Lifestyle changes.
it's
Lifestyle
like
changes.
changes your life.
Hmm.
And
Well, and you have to have a lifestyle change in order for your life to change.
Right.
Like you have to purposely, like you just said, Carla, you have to purposely go to the grocery store and stay on the perimeter.
yeah,
Don't go down the aisles. The aisles are the worst
yes,
thing for you. You
Mm-hmm.
go
yes,
through the perimeters, you guys. And I
yes,
have noticed that when I go grocery shopping, that has totally changed. It's
yes,
been amazing.
yes.
Now I'll go down the aisle to get my jalapenos and my toilet paper. But other than that, I love pickled jalapenos. In fact, I'm gonna start carrying them in my purse because I love them and I can eat them in anything. But I'm just saying.
I,
Um,
yeah.
so
No,
yeah,
no, no.
it
You're absolutely right.
mhm.
We are multidimensional people.
Yes.
Okay, so today we decided that walking would be a really good subject
Hmm.
because walking is something that everybody can do. Okay,
Well,
and
let me go back to the grocery store. What happened?
oh, okay, okay,
Because Carla, like I do in African American communities, it's really hard for them to get good nutrition.
mm-hmm. That's true. It's
And so it's hard for them to get to a grocery store.
mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how the inner city, how hard that is for people to get fresh fruit
Yeah, it is.
True.
and fresh meat, even. Like I've gone into the city, you guys, and gone to
Yeah.
the grocery store and can smell the meat
Mm.
counter from the
Mm.
front of the store.
Oh, that's
And
terrible.
that is just not good. But
Mm.
that's all they have.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, I want Natural Health Hub, Crystal and I, to be able to transport or get food, good, healthy food into the inner city
That's
because all we need are fresh fruits,
yes,
meats, and vegetables. You don't
yes,
need any processed foods, you guys.
yes,
None at all. And
yes,
that's what I mean by the
yes,
perimeter. Another friend of mine was on and she
yes.
said something about anything that doesn't have a label is what you want to get from the grocery store.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that made so much sense to me. It's
Yeah.
simplified, y'all. It's called keeping it simple, simply simple. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just keeping it simply simple. So just food like
Yeah.
fruit, meat,
Whole food.
rice, whole
Mhm.
foods, exactly.
Quinoa.
Um, so
Green.
yeah, eventually,
Mhm.
I think that my passion is going to go into not just Kansas City's inner city, or not Kansas City, Kansas inner city, but to start getting into St. Louis's inner city, into people,
Mhm.
into other communities. Now Chicago is doing it, you guys, and
Yeah.
I'm not for sure if Atlanta is, but I know Chicago is doing it. But
Mhm.
we need to get those fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables and good clean meat
In the
and
hands of
fish in the
people.
hands of the people that
Yeah.
actually need it, because when you
Yeah, because
eat that,
the
your
earlier.
whole
Yeah.
body, your whole health,
Yeah.
everything is. That's why diabetes is so prevalent. That's
Yeah.
why high
Yeah.
blood pressure is so prevalent, because we're eating stuff and drinking stuff
Yeah.
that we don't, but that's all they can get their hands on.
Yeah.
That's true. And the earlier you start, I mean, you start the kids eating healthy foods,
Yeah.
then they will learn. I mean, part of this is breaking a cycle,
Mhm.
and that's a
Mhm.
cycle of just what they've been taught as children. A lot of us have been taught as children things that no longer that are not good for us.
Yeah.
And you know what? And it's not trying to put down the parents, because the parents
They
do
only knew what they
what they
knew.
have to do.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. I do want to say something though. I've seen children clients as young as 3 years old. You guys, three.
With diabetes.
No, well, that too,
Okay.
but with eating too many carbs and sugar in the diet,
Yep.
Hmm.
these children are having
Yeah.
high cholesterol.
Yeah, I believe that.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
does a child that is 3 years old have high cholesterol? Because carbs and sugar are what
Right.
cause that. A lot of people think it's like it is
Yeah.
trans fats and things like
Right.
that too.
Like
But
a lot of milk.
well, that there's a lot. Yeah, milk
Yeah.
creates the mucus and inflammation in the body and different
Hmm.
things. So yeah,
Right.
we think we need milk for
Mhm.
strong bones, but really, dark leafy greens and dark green vegetables, they contain so much more calcium than that. And even just a small
Yes.
serving of those greens would outdo that cup of milk. And plus, I don't know if anybody knows this or understands this, but technically everyone is a little bit at least lactose intolerant, or I should say
I
all the
believe
way
that.
lactose intolerant. Just your genetics handle it
Yeah.
differently. And
Mhm.
that's why some people feel it more than others. And some people like, I don't feel anything, and they just eat the dairy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of times where they don't understand why they're not losing weight, or they
Yeah.
have all these allergies in their life and things
Mhm.
like that. If you
Mhm.
cut out the dairy, you're going to eliminate your allergies most likely, or some of them at least, and you're going to get rid of inflammation
Yeah.
and mucusy stuff. But here's the thing though,
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
cannot digest the milk, and if what we do not digest turns into acid in the body, and when it does that, that means it's actually stripping minerals from the bones
From
like
the
calcium that it's actually supposed to be getting us.
Mhm.
So you're stripping things from yourself when you are drinking all that milk. And I'm not going to say, hey, there's a lot of people that drink milk. I'm
Mhm.
one to testify to this, because before I knew what I know now,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I Kathy was like, oh my God, when she heard this. And no
Mhm.
wonder I had ulcerative
It's
colitis.
horrible.
I would drink 1 gallon of whole milk every 2 to 3 days to
Oh,
myself, because I
wow.
love milk that much.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a lot.
I almost
And
flipped.
do you know
That's a
I
what else?
almost flipped.
that's
Do
a
you know what
lot.
else? Drinking all that milk all my life, from the
Wow.
very beginning, when as young as I can remember, I had sinus issues. I had, like just allergies all the time, almost all year long.
Bless your
And,
heart.
I
Well,
had
listen
strep
to
throat every
this.
year.
Well, let's just connect that with the ulcerative colitis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sinus and sewer. Here, I know where you're going with that.
Okay,
Sinus
I'm
in
gonna
Greek
let you do it.
means, yeah, sinus in Greek means sewer. And so your sewer is your colon. Think
Right.
about all the sinus and the bad bacteria draining
Uh,
down into your stomach, causing probably bad H. pylori, okay? And that
mm.
causes like ulcers. Think about that, okay?
Yeah. Mhm.
So,
Exactly.
It
and
makes total
here's,
sense.
yeah, and here's
Total.
this. Here's this, you guys. When I was 18, when I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, I knew I had some bowel issues actually when I was 14. So I don't know how long that was going on for. It just got really bad then. And when I changed my lifestyle, I changed it a little bit when I was 18, because I did meet that naturopathic doctor, I just was young and didn't take everything, you know, in. You know, you're young, you
Right.
don't think about that stuff.
Right.
But when I started taking enzymes and taking herbs and changing my diet lifestyle a little bit, I actually, that's when I was 18. When I was 19, I did not have, I never had strep throat again after 19 years old. And I used to have it 1 to 2 times a year, every year since I could remember. I didn't have allergies, nothing. No, nothing after I changed everything over when I went like, from 18 to 19. It took about a year, but I got rid of all those allergies. I got rid of all those things that I was dealing with, sinus like infections every year. I would get like 2 to 3 of those.
Wow.
I haven't gotten it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you have all that yeast in your body. There's so much
that's
yeast.
from the milk.
And acidity, you guys, it's all acidity. I mean, that acid ripping through those membranes, that's what
Right.
ulcerative colitis is all about.
And when
I
you,
mean, yeah.
and when you're acidic,
Yeah.
disease, where does it dwell? In an acidic state.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Disease cannot
the
live in an
colon
alkaline
is
state.
deep. It's dark. It's dark. It's a perfect breeding ground for disease and infection and everything. And yeah, that's a beautiful testimony, because what you have just told people is if you do the right thing, your intelligent body will do what it can do, what
That's
it
right.
is designed to do. Your body, your human body is a gift, and what you do with it is your business. But the bottom line is you cannot replace that gift.
That's
okay.
right.
Once it's damaged, many times it's never going to go back to being like it was.
Right.
So, you know, internally, you have the reins to that. Like, we can't, you know, you can't, whatever happened to us, if somebody hits us or something outside, an accident, we don't have anything we can do with that. That just happens. It's an accident, but it's no accident that you get sick when you eat like crap. It's no accident. It's
Gotcha. Like I said, you have to purposely not go down those aisles. You have to purposely get the things on the outskirts of the grocery store. You have to purposely get nothing that has a label on it to eat.
Yeah.
And it's not impossible.
No.
And that's what we want you guys to know. It is totally not impossible to live the type of life that you can live. And one of them, like what Carla was saying, is moving your body.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest things you can do, which for yourself, is walking. Walking and swimming are the two things I know that you use every muscle in your body, walking and swimming. But we're going to talk about walking because April 6th is the National Walk Day. Go ahead, Carla.
Yeah.
Or Crystal.
And walking is low impact. Walking is low impact. And what
except for when you're dumb like me and walk like a maniac and kill yourself like I did the other day.
Well, you can. I mean, you can briskly walk, or you can, but walking is something that everybody can do, because walking.
Start slow, you guys. Go ahead.
It's good for you because it's weight bearing, and every doctor who will tell you, especially an orthopedic doctor, is that every person needs weight-bearing exercises. Why? Because when you move your body, your muscles pull, the tendons pull on the bone, and the pulling of the bone makes the bone strong. That's why sitting is so dangerous for you, because your body just basically starts
atrophy. It's called atrophy, and that makes 100% sense when you see people that are in their wheelchairs and things like that. If you remember Christopher Reeves, he was a wonderful actor who was Superman, and when he broke his neck after his equestrian accident, he fell off of a horse, landed on his head, broke his neck, and he was paraplegic all the way down from his neck down. And he was a strong, tall, 6-foot-something man, and he shriveled. And he shriveled because of atrophy, and that was because he wasn't able to move anything.
Right. And so on top of that, so the weight bearing, so it helps to build strong bones. It helps really your body to be more fit. It's also what we call an aerobic exercise. At one time we talked about aerobic and anaerobic. Well, aerobic exercise is simply, it's an endurance type exercise. You increase your heart rate and your breathing rate over a longer duration of time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what that means. Now, walking is so much better than doing nothing. Like I said, like
Yeah.
Kathy said, start slow if you have not walked before. But
Or in a long time.
or in a long time, you can start
Yeah.
small. You don't have to go out and walk a certain number of miles. What I've started doing is just simply saying, okay, I'm going to walk for 40 minutes or 30 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever it's you want to do.
Hmm.
And then whatever amount of distance that you walk in that time, be happy that you spent that much time walking.
Another good reason to go outside and walk. I personally like going outside to walk versus on a treadmill. Some people prefer treadmills, and that's fine because you can read a book or you can listen to whatever and all that. And that's fine and well and dandy. But me personally, I like to feel the wind in my hair. I
Yeah.
like to feel the sun on my skin. I
Mhm.
like to be around the elements. Like, you guys know I'm a city girl. I've always said that to you. I will always tell you that. But walking is the
Yeah.
only thing that I will do, aerobically outside.
Yeah.
The other thing is this. On a treadmill, I can get off and throw clothes on it and sit down.
Yeah.
But when you're outside, you have to walk 10 minutes that way, and trust me, you got to walk 10 minutes back.
To get back.
There is not a question about it, unless you're going to call Uber to pick you up, and don't do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You were saying that's one of the benefits, definitely.
Mhm.
And it's going to help you maintain a healthy weight, but also
Yeah.
you can discover new places. Make it
Mhm.
something that's going to
Yeah.
benefit you mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope either if you could get somebody to walk with, that's good. Some people like to get a walking partner. I prefer
Yeah.
to kind of walk alone because that's
I'm
the
alone.
time that
Yeah.
I get to clear my head and I
Yeah.
get to
Exactly.
think, you know what I
I'm
mean?
like that too.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
like that. 'Cause
I'm
we're
a
all up
lone
in here all the
person.
time. We got to get out of there.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
to.
Yes. It's
And I don't want to be walking on somebody else's pace, and I don't want them to outpace me. So
right.
no, I walk alone. I really do.
Yeah.
But if
Um,
it works for you, like I know my mother, she does go with a friend usually, and she
mhm.
does like doing that. So she does
Yeah.
like spending time. So if that's
Yeah.
like better for you, then do that.
Yeah. Oh,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and I do want to say that I don't know the exact statistics or anything, but if you take a 10-minute walk after each meal, that can help to lower your blood sugar.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
if you're diabetic, you might want to try that. Walk 5 minutes somewhere else, and then 5 minutes back, or if
Mhm.
the treadmill works for you, use the treadmill. Just make sure you have some good walking shoes,
Yeah.
warm up a little bit, stretch. Even when you're walking, you should still
That's
stretch
right.
because
That's
you never
right.
know
Right.
like how long if you haven't done it in a long time, or if you just don't do it, just often, then
Right.
you definitely want to stretch every time, no matter what.
I
And it's
totally thought I stretched
Absolutely.
the other day, and I
Yeah.
obviously didn't
Yeah.
stretch well enough, or I think I just overdid it
Right.
actually, and I went up a really steep hill. Like, when you're driving, you guys, these
Right.
hills they don't seem like hills until
yeah.
you walk.
Right.
Well, another thing, what people don't understand, I don't know how you stretch, but it's actually good to warm up just a little bit before you stretch, because when you're stretching, you're stretching cold muscles. So
Ah,
you need to like just, do some arm circles, lift your legs up just a
Mhm.
little bit, just
okay,
get moving.
okay,
And then,
Yeah.
stretch while you're doing it, and just kind of
Right.
like, just, get your
Right.
blood flowing
okay.
so that your muscles are ready to get stretched out, and, more circulation. That's important. When you don't have good circulation,
Exactly.
you can't touch your toes. You know what I mean? Like that's how that works.
Exactly. If you go into physical therapy, they never bring you in and put you right on the table. They have you warm up first, get on the bike, get on the little arm cycle thing, whatever. So absolutely, that's phenomenal advice. And you
That is
also
good advice.
mentioned something about the shoes, and it's funny that I'm glad you brought that up because I looked up just some information on shoes, and so if you don't mind, I'd like to run it down as real
Sure.
quick. So, because if you have a bad shoe fit and you have a
Yeah.
bad experience walking, then you're going to be done. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what? Here's the thing: if you're going to go to a gym, you're going to spend money for a gym membership. Buy yourself
Mhm.
some decent shoes, okay?
Yeah.
So here's what I came up with. It says you should have get your foot measured each time you buy a shoe. You don't know that your foot isn't swelling. Different times of the year, your foot might be more swollen than like in the summer. So, okay. So just don't think, well, I naturally wear an 8 and just decide that that's what you're going to do, because every shoe is different as well. Okay. Sure. So stick with shoes that are designed specifically for walking or running. Okay. Right. Then you should try on the shoes in the store and wear them for about 10 minutes and kind of walk around the store, wear them and check them out to make sure they're comfortable. Bring the same socks that you're going to wear in your shoes, okay? Because you wear some thin socks and some shoes, then you go back and you decide, I better wear some thick socks. No, you got to have the same socks. And then it says most people typically need sneakers that are a half size bigger than their dress shoes, just a half a size. And then and these last two, I think, are the most important. If you have a low arch, look for stability shoes that helps how your foot lands. Because there's something called ground force reaction. So when you put your foot down, that force comes back as a shock wave into your foot. This is true. Yeah. And this has to do with something that has to do also with what Kathey was talking about, the new service, and you'll figure that out. But everything's an energy. So that ground force reaction, okay, it's going to come back through your body. So you want that shock wave. You don't want it coming back through and causing you to have shin splints or something, but absorbed into your shoe. And last one, if you have high arches, that they do require more shock absorption and require a more cushioned shoe. So those are the tips on the walk.
That's funny you said that, because like I have a super high arch and my husband actually has a really flat foot. So it's like I knew about kind of a little bit about both of them. So I'm like, both of them needs like support, because like the impact is just terrible. Like for instance, my heels will hurt because of the impact, because my arch wants to like hold it up, and so the only thing touching is my heels. And
it's so, people don't really understand the mechanics. It's so weird. Unless you study it, you're kind of thinking, is this really weird? But ground force reaction is just another thing having to do with things that in the universe that are there that we just really don't understand, but they do impact our bodies.
Yeah.
They have a force on our body. Yeah.
I tell you what, the shin splints hurt, you guys. And that's what was wrong with me the other day. But I think it's because I felt fine though walking. I have to tell you that. I was perfectly fine walking. It was the next day that I felt like I was hit by a Mack truck. Crystal, you have a slide. I wouldn't mind looking at that slide that you have for us.
Before I bring that up, I just want to mention one thing. You're talking about how there's an impact in things that we can't see.
Right.
I just want to say, for instance, like sound. Sound actually has waves, and we can't see them. But you ever see a speaker when it's like boom, 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 boom? It's moving because it's that vibration.
Exactly.
Is making that move, and that is a frequency. And then I also like to explain it as when you're in the car, and you have the radio on, and you're like, there's a song that comes on, you don't really like it, so you change the frequency. You tune it to something you like, and
that's right.
So there's a frequency in everything. Sometimes your body just doesn't like it. Sometimes it does.
Yes, that's true. That is a really, really good point, Crystal. That's a very good point. Hey, one more thing. You know what? This walking is really good for helping to alleviate depression. We all know, especially we've been locked up for so long. A lot of people, we're starting to get back out, but the weather is so weird. It's like Missouri is like, will it rain? Will it snow? It's Missouri. I do not know.
Is it hot? Is it cold? That's funny.
Do you guys know we're supposed to have snow flurries by the end of this week?
Tomorrow.
Do you know that?
Tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
I don't pay attention anymore. I'm
okay.
Just open up the door and it's snowing. Oh, close it. Next day, open up the door.
Now it was 70 something degrees just yesterday.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have snow flurries, like Carla said, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
it's so weird. And we wonder why, and you know what, you naturally kind of know because your body will tell you when the barometer.
Oh yeah.
Get headaches.
Yeah, you get those headaches.
I get headaches.
Up and down. It's all over the place. Our body reacts.
It
That
does.
might be why my lower back is hurting, by the way. I think it's weather related, actually.
Yeah, you can look
Yeah,
up the biometric pressure,
Hmm.
like online or something, and see if it's
Yeah.
high or low.
right.
And when it's a little high or whatever it is, you either have a headache or maybe your knees might hurt if you have arthritis
Exactly.
or something. You might feel something like that. Some people do, some
Exactly.
people don't. It's not for everybody.
That's
But
there's
but
never there's no
yeah.
cookie cutter for everybody. Isn't that
Mhm.
right? We're all so different. We're all so unique. Yet, once again, there is one thing that just, like you said, the whole food that is, is for everybody, because our cells, they just understand that.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
understand the frequency.
I actually have thought about our bodies as a receptor of frequency. Okay.
Mhm.
So think of a tuning fork. If anybody is have ever seen them, and they use them for several things.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought it's not only just for music. You hit a tuning fork, and there's a sound that comes from that. Our bodies are the receptor of those sounds. So that wave that she was talking about, we will process it in a certain way.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, all of it is energy, all of it is frequency, all of it is interesting to me.
Like sonar technology, I think that's what it's called for like
Hmm.
when
Sonar.
wells. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's so interesting because we all are drawn to certain people based on their energy, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
or repelled,
Yeah.
because someone's energy as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also realize, you guys, we're over 50% water.
Mhm. Yes, and water. Yeah.
And so when you water is a vibration. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, it will take on vibrations.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so I want you to really honestly trust your body and your mind and your tuition,
Yeah.
because it's telling you something.
It
Mhm.
does.
When you experience things,
It does.
God put it there for a reason.
Yeah.
So trust it, trust it, trust it.
You know
So
what? That's
yeah.
so true. But some people, I mean, here's what we're trying to, I think, and this is what I feel with you all, is
Okay.
helping people take back their power by
Yeah.
Hmm.
trusting themselves instead of saying,
Exactly.
well, I got to see what the doctor says about it. Because I'm going to tell you what, if I did what the doctor said to do about it, I wouldn't have a
Mm,
thyroid today.
I
And
wouldn't
he
have a
told,
colon.
wow.
and he told me his quote words were, "You don't have a choice." And I looked at him and I said, okay, bye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
That's
fired.
it. You can't tell me what to do with my body. And I
Yeah.
think that we have to become fierce defenders of our health, our bodies. We've got to do it. Nobody else is going to do it for you.
Now doctors have their places. They have their expertise.
Oh
They
yeah.
have their reasoning for everything, and they are important.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Yeah.
though get to choose what you want to happen with your
That's
own personal body,
that.
and that's all we're saying.
And
That's all we're
Kathy is
saying. Hmm.
absolutely right,
Hmm.
because I have chosen to do a surgery on my shoulder because
Hmm.
I was rear-ended, and I have an injury that it's it's physically debilitating. I had to decide, did
Yeah.
I want to heal internally with just
Quickly, or
me
yeah.
without
Yeah.
the range of motion, or go through the surgery. So I do, like Kathy said, absolutely. But you have to, what I'm trying to get a point across is know yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Intuition is a
yeah,
lot. It goes a
go,
long way.
yes.
Yeah.
If you don't
Because
feel right about something and you don't have peace about something, then you need to wait and maybe research it or look it up.
yeah,
Whatever you got to do, or
yeah,
maybe you're supposed to be waiting for a reason and there's something better coming around the corner. I don't know the
yeah,
reason. I'm just saying that
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
it's good
Yeah.
to make sure that you look at all your options and that
Hmm.
exactly.
you educate yourself and then make a peaceful decision. If you don't have peace about the decision, then it's probably not the right decision.
Yeah.
That's beautifully said. And I think
Yeah.
that in a nutshell is it. Just know that
Yeah.
you have a choice.
Yeah.
Including doctors, you guys. Just because a doctor is in front of you doesn't mean that you connect with that person. If you don't connect with him, please go to another one. There are
Yeah,
plenty out there. There's
yeah,
so many out there. And
yeah,
there
Hmm.
are so many that are just doggone disrespectful and very, nonchalant about you. If you're at that person's office and you feel that way, go to a next one. Go to one that when you feel
yes.
like, especially gynecologists. I'm just going
Someone
to
that
tell you.
listens. someone that actually listens to what
I
you have
have
to say.
had bad gynecologists before, and no, that is not the person you want to go to.
And
For
yeah,
females, you go to a person that you are comfortable with.
That's
yeah,
right.
And that's important for all of your body when you're in a gynecological
yeah,
examination. You don't want to be tensed up and
yeah,
with somebody that is potentially harmful to you even.
Mm,
absolutely.
So absolutely use your intuition, because it's so important for you to
Yeah,
have that peace of mind going into that office and out of the office. My doctor, I don't know what he was thinking when he retired. So now I got to go out there and find another one. But he
that's
yep.
and I were like brother and sister. We
yeah,
fought like cats and dogs, but it was
yeah,
fun. So now I got to go find somebody else. So yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Nobody
I'm.
wants.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I do want
Yeah,
to go ahead and bring up this
yes,
slide real fast, if that's cool.
yes, yes.
All right. Let me go ahead and take. And I'm just gonna do that. Okay. So here we go. All right. Let's see if I can even read it. Oh
By the way,
no.
that's me. That's me on there.
Yeah. That's me on there. She says, "This is what I do every day because I walk out there." No, okay. So this is what happens to your body on a walk. And when you walk, obviously you can see the big words here. It says brain, muscles, bones, weight, blood, heart, digestion, joints. I'm not going to really read off of this, but you can see it for yourself. And I'm actually going to tell you what I know for a fact. Because when you're walking, what are you doing? You're creating circulation. So
Mhm.
circulation is great for your heart.
Right.
You're helping your lymphatics move, great for digestion. When your lymphatics are moving, you're getting out. Those are what's like the trash cans in your body, and the lymph nodes are what help like clean, like you're trying to clean up that trash through the body. So it's when you walk and move your muscles and everything, you help the toxin just get out a lot faster. And then of course, drinking water helps with that. Um,
Hmm.
and then with your joints, like Carla was talking about earlier, she says you have to have, like, when you're walking, you're actually, you're kind of pulling the bones and stuff to make them stronger. So really, a lot of people I know who actually have arthritis, they don't walk because they think, oh, it hurts when I walk, more often. But actually, if you, of course, speak with your doctor if you don't feel comfortable with this decision. But if it resonates with you, take it in. If it doesn't, just release it. But
Hmm.
it's good to start walking, just a little bit every day and get yourself like in that mode to where it starts to become normal, and then you can increase weekly if you want to, just take a little bit at a time, even if it's a 5 minute walk. That's better than no minutes. So, and then
Hmm.
next week increase it to 10, and then maybe when you feel up to it and your body's ready, you can go up to 30 to 45-minute walks or something, and it's good to do both. You can rest walk, was what I say, just walk at your normal pace. You could also, it's good to have a brisk walk where you're walking fast to get your heart rate up, get your blood flowing even more. And when you have better blood flow, I see the brain up there. When I think of that, you're helping circulation, you're helping blood flow go to the brain. So that means, um, you know, you have the nutrients and the oxygen needed for the brain is there when you start walking and moving
Hmm.
that. So I just want to say a little bit of that. And of course, weight loss, if, like I said, when I said earlier how, if you take about a 10-minute walk after you eat, can help lower your blood sugar. Most of the time after we eat, it can raise the blood sugar a little bit, whatever you ate. And if you keep your blood sugar in control, if you keep it balanced, you start to lose weight.
So how many minutes after you eat should you walk?
I would, I mean, it doesn't really matter exactly, but if you feel like your sugar's high, I would just start walking. You know what I mean? Here's the
Yeah.
thing: you should be
And
able
Carla, you
to,
might know that answer, by the
you,
way, but go ahead.
you should be able to walk after you eat if you didn't overeat. If
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
overate,
Mm,
you're not gonna feel like you can walk or do anything after you eat, and you're gonna need to rest probably at least 20 minutes for your
Right.
food to digest, and so you don't get cramps and things.
well, that's really what I was getting at, the
Yeah.
digestion of the food, because not necessarily how much you ate or if it was overeating. That's not what I was getting at all. Actually, it was the
Yeah.
digestion of the food, because ho- does it automatically, go into your bloodstream, the sugar, or does it take time for it to get to release into the bloodstream? And then should you walk then? So I'm being very methodical
Yeah,
in that
kind of both ways
question.
actually. You know how under our tongue we can put things sublingually and it
Hmm.
absorbs straight into our bloodstream then.
Exactly.
Well, there are things like when it hits our mouth and we're chewing it up, it's going into our bloodstream a little bit right then and there.
Mhm.
But then, you know, and then we've talked about this before, where you have to chew and make sure you chew all your stuff up. And because your saliva has those certain enzymes to break down starch and sugars that you don't normally have in your stomach, you have hydrochloric acid and other enzymes in your stomach to help you digest proteins and fats and things like that. But we don't have a lot, most of it's in our saliva. So yeah, 20 minutes to digest your food. That's what it normally takes. So if you feel comfortable, you know, you can, if you don't want to get into possibly getting cramp or anything, or, you know, feeling kind of like you're going to throw up, you know, like my food might want to come back up sometimes for some people. Wait 20 minutes and let your food kind of, you know, digest and assimilate where it never needs to.
Yeah, I was going to say 30, so I wasn't off too much when I was going to suggest 30 minutes after you eat. Go ahead and do your walk.
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah, that's good. All good stuff.
Right. You know,
man,
when Crystal was about, and you were talking about certain things absorbing right away. Well, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen someone who is diabetic, and then, you know, they kind of go into that diabetic shock, and initially you give them something sweet right away. So we already know that carbs is something that's going to affect your body more quickly. They say when, you know, when people are running a marathon, a lot of times you know, they will initially they'll do that carb load so that they'll have that to get energy. But they have also eaten a lot of the protein because they need that protein, because that protein
for sustaining
digests your longer term of fuel. But
the only thing I say about that is that when you mix protein and carbs together, it's actually not a really good combination, because the food can sit on your stomach and it's harder to digest actually.
So I heard that meat and potatoes aren't good together. OMG.
Look up a food combining chart. There's probably a food combining chart on the internet you could look up, and how to food combine basically. And usually it will teach you, for instance, melons, like watermelon, any type of melon, they need to be eaten separately away from everything actually.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, for instance, carbs and protein should not go together. It should be protein and like veggies, non-starchy veggies. Fruit can be eaten with some veggies or something like that. But and then nuts, they say nuts, like for instance, that's protein, but it's also considered like fats, but it's different, it's plant-based. So you could eat nuts and fruit a little bit together. I would say more like berries, but they'd still say sometimes that could be hard for people to still digest, because you're still mixing the protein, like the carb and sugar.
So that also means spaghetti and meatballs, you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we do that.
We do it all the time. That's the reason like bread, even bread and hamburger. Like when you eat hamburger and bread, you shouldn't eat that together. Who knew?
Any of those foods? No, I'm just kidding.
Most of the athletes that really need that protein, they just eat like chicken breasts and vegetables. They don't eat all that stuff, but like they'll eat that like days before the race, and then the day of the race they'll do
they do the carbs. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. That's for a reason. They do that for their bodies to digest.
Fruit has fiber in it to help you block the sugar absorption a little bit. I know there's sugar in fruit, but you have to understand, like, those are good carbs too, by the way. But if you have at least a little bit of fiber, soluble stuff, it's helping your colon, you know, it's not just like empty carbs or anything.
Right. Well, you guys, I hate to even end this conversation. Oh, go ahead.
Last thing. So you know that a brisk walk of approximately 3 miles per hour is what we call moderate exercise. Okay.
3 miles per hour. Okay.
And so basically the experts just recommend 30 minutes a day, but it says that you at least at that level, at a moderate exercise, you need at least 2.5 hours of this level every week. So that's it's not that
much. Good advice. Yeah, that's good advice.
I like that. For sure.
Change your life.
I love your facts. You bring in all the facts. I love it.
It will change your life. You guys are fact oriented. So it'll change your life. Just walk. It will.
Yeah.
And if you aren't able to walk, I know it's easy, but like some people have plantar fasciitis and things like that, and I understand that. Just find something that works for you and that you can do. Because every time we say, like, let's do an exercise or something, people are like, what exercise should I do? Do the one that you love. Do the one that you actually do.
Right.
Dancing is a perfect
I
one,
love that.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing is a very good one. That's how I stayed thin
That
for
helps your
so
mind
long when I
too.
was trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're dealing with music and rhythm and moving your body at the same time. So that's the reason a lot of the videos that you see have music to them because
Yep.
they're aerobic. The classes are all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I
very
love
good
that.
for all of that.
You can do that
I
while you're cooking. I mean, make
Mm-hmm.
it fun.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I do. I don't know about anybody else, but I turn up music like when I'm here cooking them and stuff. I'm like, yep.
I
Turn
do
on
too.
my 90s gangster rap. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I grew up in the 90s.
yeah, just make it fun. We
hmm
just, just make it fun and just be happy. That's what we
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. Well, I like that you said that walking helps with your depression,
Yeah.
but it also helps with your sleep. So
Oh, yes,
the more workouts that you do, no matter what it is, you guys, it's going to help with your sleeping habits as well. So if you're insomniac and you're not moving your body, that's probably a good reason why. Because the second
Mm-hmm.
you start doing any exercise, whether it's weightlifting or
Mm-hmm.
aerobics or walking or swimming,
Mm.
trust me, your body's going to say night night when it's time to go night night. So,
it's good.
and you're going to have good restful sleep.
Yeah.
It's going to be good sleep too. It's not going to just be sleeping. Your body's going to need that to regenerate for the next day when it's ready to go again.
Right.
Mm.
It
So
won't
yeah,
be that tired, like how you feel
Mm.
that's
tired
right.
when you
Yeah.
don't do anything, you're tired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But when you exercise, you create
Yeah.
that's
energy.
right.
And that
Mm-hmm.
makes you sleep better. And
hmm
then thus,
That's right. It's because what people don't know, you actually have to have energy to be able to
yes.
sleep. So if you're wondering why you have insomnia at night and you're like working so hard, you're running yourself down and everything,
Right.
I can't sleep though. You
Right.
actually have to have energy to sleep. You need B vitamins and different things to nourish your
Yeah.
body, to sleep. So
And exhaustion sleeping is not as good as
Oh, it's
exercise
horrible.
sleeping. Yeah, so that's the difference right there.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get off of here. All right, you guys, Carla, we could talk to you forever.
yes,
But
absolutely.
It's
yes,
awesome.
we have to leave. Thank you so much for bringing the subject up of
Yeah.
actually just walking, you guys. And
Mhm.
like Crystal said, if you can't walk, just find something. Even if it's sitting in a chair, moving your feet back and forth,
Yeah,
just get
absolutely.
it done, you guys. There
Yeah.
are some little bitty bikes that you can buy that you can just do your feet like this,
Mm.
So let's just move our blood needs to flow. All
Yeah.
right, so you guys, we'll see you next Wednesday. Health is wealth. It absolutely is. And if you are green inside, you are absolutely clean inside. Trust and believe. All right, we'll see you next
All
Wednesday. Bye,
right. Thank you,
guys.
guys. Thanks,
Bye.
Carla. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.